So I'm just glad we can schedule this. The Flyers are playing, might have done even worse in terms of attendance, but nevertheless, thank you for coming out. It's very kind of you to do so. The format here today is pretty informal. I'm just going to maybe talk about a few issues before Congress, and then I'll just let you go ahead and chime in and ask your questions or make your comments on any issues that you think are important or that you'd like to have discussed here tonight. So with that, again, Congressman Charlie Dent, I serve on the House Homeland Security Committee, on the House Transportation and Infrastructure Committee. I also serve on the Committee on Standards of Official Conduct, more commonly referred to as the Ethics Committee. Somebody should answer the phone. And so those are the three committee assignments that I have, dealing with a number of pressing matters in Washington. As you can imagine, there was the health care law that was enacted a few months back, which has obviously created a lot of anxiety and some heartburn around the country, as well as questions about how that law will be implemented. There are also issues too. Right now, we're dealing with some, of course, this tragic oil spill, BP oil spill. That was certainly devastating. It's a disaster on a record level, a genuine catastrophe. That's an issue before us. Immigration, that is another issue that may or may not be considered by the Congress in the not too distant future. Certainly there is a great deal of concern on the immigration issue now, particularly in the aftermath of the Arizona law, as well as the recent visit by President Calderon of Mexico to the United States, where he made his speech that got a lot of attention and helped provoke a little bit of controversy. So that's an issue too that's out there. And rather than me give you a long-winded speech about what I'm doing in Washington, I'd be happy to get into the bills I've been involved with. I'd be curious to hear what your thoughts are, your comments, your questions on whatever issues there are in your mind.
Well, I have concerns about the economy. I have concerns about immigration because I believe they're using that as a political ploy. You know, the immigration, I think, for votes. Just my belief. It's not just my belief. I mean, I watch Fox. You know, whatever people might think about Fox, I think they're pretty fair and balanced, and I do agree that there's a problem out there in Arizona, and I think the federal government isn't really doing anything about it. And I'm very concerned about that it's spread to other states. Even Massachusetts, I think that's a sanctuary state. I think there's problems up there. And I'm also concerned about the economy because I can't see how the government thinks they can spend their way out of a recession. I know if I spent everything I had, we wouldn't have anything. My wife and I wouldn't have anything. I just don't understand that. I think myself, I see our country trying to go socialist. I just want to know what are some of your views on these things. And I don't just think that. I hear them saying, I hear them actually saying, whatever people might think, Glenn Beck, watch. And I see you putting them on, speaking on, and they're talking basically socialism. So I just want to see what you have to say.
Sure. I think you heard many of the comments dealing with immigration, the economy, the spending, and when we start, I'll try to address all of those. With respect to spending, first you should know that this year, for the first time since 1974, the United States House of Representatives is not taking up a budget. Think about that. Not taking up a budget. That is, again, since the Budget Reform Act, the Great Budget Reform Act of 1974, is the first time that the House has not even attempted to take up a budget. So, and there are many who come from the old school. In fact, the current chairman of the Budget Committee, John Spratt from South Carolina, said that if you can't budget, you can't govern. Well, he's the chairman of the Budget Committee. He's not presenting a budget. So, and I believe he's not presenting a budget because of what the numbers look like. And what do those numbers look like?